Whoa now, what it do world? It's your boy the Toothless Wonder, aka Foul Shot, and reporting from the Bamboozled Again News Network. And I routinely take, situations I see in life, whether it be, on TV or with somebody else, and try to apply it to myself, right? Now, by no means am I on the level of P Diddy, nowhere close as far as sexual deviancy, right? But in light of the situation, it just reminded me of past situations, and it just made me think and remember, where are this man friends at? So I applied to myself, when I was kind of, in the world, in whatever aspect, or, various aspects I want to call it. And, some detrimental, something happened, I broke my neck, or, funds low. You'll start seeing your quote unquote friends switch up or distance themselves from you. But when you riding high, or you just flowing how you want to flow with it, you got 1,000 people around you. You know what I mean? And especially in this daytime and era, I think we should do a social audit or critique of our various friendships and associates. How beneficial are they to you? And I ain't talking about like necessarily financially, even though that could be an aspect of it. I mean more so, are they uplifting to you? You know what I'm saying? Do they give you sound wisdom and advice? Do they F with you because they F with you because you are who you are? Or is it transactional or circumstantial in the sense of you benefit them so they linger and hang around? You see what I'm saying? Is this a reciprocal kind of action here? They may not give back to you the same way you do, but they do it in their own special way, like Luther. You know what I mean? And I got this kind of talking point from New Breed of the cannibalistic nature of society. When people were doing these various business deals with the man, and, it looked good for marketing and branding and so on and so forth. You ain't seen nada come out in support. I mean, granted, how can you? You know what I mean? But y'all were just at the all-white party. It was all good just a week ago. You know what I mean? And we have to be very mindful, especially nowadays where certain morals and ethics have been eroded. You're lucky if you got one or two good friends, someone you can call on in time of need, or, someone who doesn't leave when the storm comes, or you lose finance, or your health, or, you know what I'm saying? It's so crazy now. A lot of times, especially in the urban community, where they talk about, the back door and, you know what I mean, those type of, rhetoric. A lot of times the people you grew up with will become your greatest enemies, or the people you played in the sandbox with for whatever the reason, because of this kind of competitive nature we find ourselves in society. It'll be your homeboy who tried your woman. You see what I'm saying? It'll be your homeboy that end up telling on you and getting you sent away. What are our friendships and associates? What is it really based on? What fundamental and foundational components are at play here? Like my dad used to tell me, you deal with people with long-handled spoons. I never understood that when he told me that. I kind of got it. I knew what he meant. I didn't understand the application of it. Especially if you're, just a genuine person. You're not really out here trying to find somebody to manipulate, or you're not looking for vulnerabilities in people so you can personally exploit it. But then you have to understand, here in Babylon, from what I've seen, the vast majority of people operate like that. Especially on your job, or, let's say you're in more of any kind of social circle. People can have more than you and still hate on you because of who you are. And because you're nothing like them, even though you're probably not, egotistical by any stretch of the imagination. They'll hate on you for just that. They'll hate on you because you're not seeking to do evil. It's insane. But granted, that man has done so much dirt over the years, it had to come back at some point. So much so, he got $50 million for the court, and he still can't get out of jail. Which also goes into what I was talking about, being able to control your sex, especially nowadays here in the land of harlotry. I was just thinking of so many brothers I know who was decent, good brothers, but just made bad decisions. And I've done it, you know, sexually, and it's cost them their life. You know what I mean? Whether they was, you know, tricking and got set up and robbed, or, you know what I mean? Or a woman played a certain type of role and then hit the flip mode squad. Now you in chase mode, and she just disrespecting all piss out you, and you gone, and you know what I mean? You can't figure out why she doing this. You trying to talk to her, not comprehending the fact she ain't trying to comprehend. She's getting ego boost or energy off destroying you. You know what I mean? Just like in Proverbs where it talks about, you know, staying away from, I think it's the strange woman's house, because her door leads to death. You know what I mean? Or how it talks about how your wealth will be given to another man and things of that nature. So you gotta be real careful and cognizant of people who try to they attempt to sell you stupidity. I'll put it like that. Like, say you married, you know what I mean, and you got a partner or maybe a guy you hang out with out your job, maybe drink a few beers after work, and then he's telling you to cheat on your wife. Or he's trying to, man, you should get with Shawty, yo, you know what I'm saying? I heard she woo-da-woo-da-woo. You know what I mean? You trying to kick it with the boys or whatever. Be careful. One, don't do it. Two, he be the next one to put you in that play to get you to do it. And then he tell you what. Like, here's what I've never understood in all my years on earth. Say me and a partner cool, right? I've never had no thought of sleeping with my partner woman. You know what I'm saying? Ever. All these women out here, why do I want yours? But again, it be this kind of competitive kind of nature of just life, where and it don't be they really like the woman. They just want to be able to say they had your woman. You see what I'm saying? Which again makes absolutely positively no sense to me. You know what I mean? And I don't really like going behind people like that, especially nowadays. You know what I mean? Just like, okay, the sister she got a man or whatever. I'm like, maybe when I was younger I would forget to ask or didn't care, but now, you know, definitely more disciplined to do that. And then people get off on sleeping with somebody else's woman. But then nowadays you never know. Her husband, he might like get some pussy, you know, twice a month. You know what I mean? I'm not going behind that. You know what I mean? It's insane. Or I've had these situations. I remember one time, I never forget this, me and my partners, when I was living across the bread, we were chopping it up about something. And I said, nah, I got a bad conscience. And my partner said, what are you saying? Something to the effect of, you don't need that. And I was drinking at the time, but I took a mental note of it and just kept on with the flow of conversation, like. And we still talking, but in the background, I'm like, what will possess that man say that? You know what I mean? Like, people will give you, you know, inklings or flashes of what's really in their heart. You know what I'm saying? Now, this particular individual who said this, like, he sells drugs and, you know, he's kind of like weak because I had to like save him from street stuff a few times. But I guess he hustled, the money, but, you know, hustling and having, because technically hustling is basically spell casting. So even though he's weak, he seems strong because he has these various, you know, illicit drugs that people need to come to him for. You know what I mean? But he'll wild one. You know what I mean? Like, I just seen him like he told me one time, I guess his uncle had, I don't know, him and his wife were going through something, and he hustling, she needed money. So according to him, I don't know what possessed him telling me this. He said that he got some top from his uncle's wife. So that lets you know, if you'll do that to your uncle, who you so say was very influential on raising you, ain't no telling what you'll do to me, right situation. You know what I mean? And I'm like, God. And then just the sheer fact he had, and he wasn't drunk or high, nothing. And you tell me this? Like, wow. It's real in the battlefield. And just in light of the Diddy situation, I know, you know, we all want, you know, friendship, brotherhood, sisterhood, things of that nature. And that is a noble, and it's a natural, desire or necessity, I guess, psychologically or whatever the case may be. However, this environment actually, like I say, it kind of breeds that we kind of do a manual override in wisdom. Because the things that naturally come to us are probably in this social construct the most dangerous. So if you're naturally empathetic, people just use you to see what they can get up out of you. Not because they necessarily need it. They just know you like that. Let me see if I can get him. And then I heard this term from the guy who makes the God Elect channel, Duper's Delight. Like, these people actually get off. It could be something small. You know what I mean? Hey, cuz, can I get a cigarette? Yeah, here, bro. You ain't stunting that. You know what I mean? But they're getting off on the fact they was able to get something from you when they probably had it. You know what I mean? Again, I'm not of that mindset, so it don't make no sense to me. But there's just a little quick public service announcement. Let's just be watchful of our friends and our family. And I'm pretty sure if you subscribe or you listen to any of my videos, we probably had similar experiences with friends, family, job, life situations, maybe near-death experiences, struggling, finding ourselves for years, you know what I mean? Like, I'm really not, at this point in junction in the game, I'm not really big on, I love my family, don't get me wrong, but because of, religious, ideological, political beliefs, like, I'm not, like, on my dad's side of the family, I'm not even invited into functions. Don't make me no different. You know what I'm saying? It's amazing how I got more support when I was non-functional. You know what I mean? Now, granted, they'll talk about you and all that, and most of it probably true, but now that I've become functional and, been able to evolve and elevate to a degree, you would think they would be happy for you. After all the years of tomfoolery I, engaged myself in, now I act like, not only do I act like I got some sense, I might be the wisest person in the family. The proverbial black sheep. But for my dad's side of the family, who's more of the, democratic voting, easily initiated kind of folk, HBCU educated, they don't invite me to nothing. But when something happened, when you got called to 18, I'm the first person they call. You know what I mean? Out of, yeah, we don't talk to him. Yeah, we made up stories about him. But because we know who we are, if we tell him this, he's down by law. He's bound to move on our behalf. And depending on what it is, I might. I just know how to, safeguard myself in the aftermath. You know what I mean? I guess that might parent to, blessing those that curse you and you heap coals upon their head. But I ain't gonna keep doing it. But I'm gonna do it for the greater good. It all depends how I'm led. But that's why I used to wonder, along my journey, why I just kind of lost the ability, or lost the desire rather, to just do social stuff. I want to go to the football game or go to the bar and watch the game, but not necessarily drink. You know what I'm saying? Or I just, like it's in my mind, and I would have to kind of almost force myself to do it. And then as soon as I get into it, I'm like, man, I'd rather be back home doing nothing. Or just thinking or watching YouTube that's been, beneficial, insightful, informative to me. I'd rather, middle of the night, I'm down at the park by the water doing pull-ups. I find that more, and just, meditating, reflecting, whatever comes to thine mind, than because I was actually thinking, especially early on in my journey, of the people I surround myself with or around, whether it be, counselors, therapists, people in the neighborhood, woo, right? How many of these people have taught me stuff that I could actually use? How many of these people say, hey, cuz, man, I seen this particular opportunity, man, I think you'd be a good fit. Yo, here's the number, bro. You know what I mean? How many people have kind of put me in position? I'm thinking to myself now. I can't really remember. I've had to muscle up in the paint by my lonely. You know what I'm saying? Not saying everybody, is obligated to do such, but on the flip side of it, brother might say, oh man, I'm looking for a job, I need a job, woo. And then, I come across some information, and then he'll pop back in my head. And then I'll text him or whatever, means of communication we use. Hey, cuz, didn't you say you was looking for a job? Hey, I was sliding past here, I was talking to such and such. They say they hiring, man. I think you can get in that junk though. Go check them out, folks. You know what I mean? Why not? You know what I'm saying? And I think maybe that's a part of the reason why I've gotten a lot of grace and mercy too. Just from just charitable. It ain't costing me nothing. It's not like breaking my back to do it. You know what I'm saying? Why not? Why not help the next man? We all in the struggle together. But a lot of times I'm the one that's kind of blackballed, or I come to discover, you know, they viewed me as a threat because of my, you know, my thought process, or, you know, like I never came to understand. Well, I understand it now. Because I'm just me, right? So I don't really walk around my chest out, or, you know, I'm a smooth groover, you know what I mean, for the most part. But you will be surprised how other people perceive you. And a lot of times, there'll be a lot of fear involved. I guess people fear what they don't understand, or they'll fear your power. Not necessarily in societal influence or physicality. They'll feel they'll fear your power, rather, because you're comfortable being who you is and you ain't trying to impress nobody. You can stand alone and operate in a group without, you know, attempting to be, you know, competitive or anything like that. Like, I tend to just find my role on the squad and get in where I fit in. You know what I mean? But it's just, it's all like this whole essence of reality that we're in. Now I'm saying that it's all spiritual. It's just taking place in physical form. That's why you can have some, like I said in previous videos, where I known people and they ain't did nothing to me. But as I continue to grow, evolve, go through life experiences, learn from it, so on and so forth, I will meet people that I know from memory and talk to them, engage them, being within, you know, in proximity of them and feeling they essence, their energy, they aura. And I'm like, yo, who am I talking to? And it's not even so much, it's probably, you know, coexisting, you know, on both ends. As I'm trending one direction, they're trending another. But I think what's happening is, because I'm constantly growing, I'm constantly evolving, I'm constantly changing, the version of me who used to connect with them doesn't exist anymore. I just have a memory of these people. But I'm not even who I was when we connected. And you're probably still the same. Like I had to tell one of my old homeboys, DC Mo, when he started getting on my nerve, I said, bro, we're trending in different directions here. You see what I'm saying? You want to just, you know, skirt the work or whatever the case may be. I'm continuing to strive and whoop de whoop de whoop. So we're gonna start chasming apart anyway by default, because I'm constantly changing and you're staying stagnant. And I ain't even talking about so much as the outward stuff. I'm talking about, you know, I'm talking about in the realm of just self-accountability. Stop playing the blame game. You know, stepping into uncomfortable situations that will promote growth. So now we're growing apart by default. And what happened was with him, and I shared this, whereas I went to pick him up one day, seen him and got mad. So I start checking myself, like, yo, that's my partner. Why am I, like, I actually like wanted to like tap on his chin. I'm like, yo, I'm tripping. So I'm thinking it's me. So then I start thinking, is it because now I think I'm doing all right? I think I'm better than him and he's beneath me and all this type of stuff. Because I ain't never really been and I never been on that side of it either, as far as like act like I'm better than folk or thinking that. So I go back, I'm like, yo, what? I'm tripping. So again, I start checking myself. But really what it was, my spirit was perceiving something that my conscious mind hadn't caught up to. So then a short period of time later, he had been doing it. But then when I would tell him certain things that I'm doing after I left the job, it was like, it would just call me profusely about nothing. Figuring, I don't know if he figured I would like him, I ain't gonna do nothing, you know what I'm saying? But he had seen me stride, you know what I mean? So I tell him, oh, I'm working here for this week during this time. Like before I go to work, he would call me no matter what time. Like after I get off work, he would call me. You know, I started door dashing and, you know, just trying different stuff. He called me when I tell him I'm doing, I'm like, yo, what? Now, what happened was, by him doing that, and he had been doing it, but I'm like, this is my man, you know, he kind of a little tenderfied right now. I'm trying to walk him through it and be patient with him, since the Most High been patient with me, you know what I mean? But then what happened was, he did it so much so, as I'm attempting to do stuff, it triggered a Arnold Schwarzenegger total recall on my part. So then I just kind of went back and did a total recall over our whole friendship. And I'm like, yo, upon further inspection and this audit, I'm like, bro, I ain't seen this man improving nothing. For every solution I provide, you got a problem. Everything that's going on with you is somebody else's fault. But you never tell me, the part you played in it. I said, oh, hell no. So I gave him one more chance, right? But and I'll leave y'all on this note. And this is where I sealed the deal on this one. So I think I blocked him. And he called me from another number, so I have to answer. So I've been made my mind up, but I'm trying to just find, trying to give him a chance to say something, anything that I ain't previously heard that would make me think that you understand and you're going to apply what you realize, right? So this is the statement that sealed the deal. He said, bro, I know I've been calling you too much. Whoop, 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 whoop. But when he made that statement, my brain stopped. So we get off the phone, I marinate on it. So you basically told me, again, people were telling themselves. So you tell me you're doing something you know you ain't got no business doing, and yet you continue to do it. What is your motive and intention for that? You see what I'm saying? Because you can't say you don't know, because you just told me you did. You told me you knew you wasn't supposed to be calling me so much and continue. So why would you do that? What is your intent for that? Are you testing my boundaries? Are you seeing how much you can get away with? Are you saying, like, I'll give him a pass because we was in treatment? I said, nah, we ain't doing it. I ain't talked to the man since. And he know why. Then I think I told y'all here, it might have been a month or two ago. I haven't talked to him in a year. He actually friend requested me on Cash App. Asked for $50 on Cash App. I said, the unmitigated God, that just let me know you ain't changed and I made the right call. You know what I'm saying? And now to a greater degree, because of my idealistic nature, I figure, in my mind, especially when I was younger, if we friends, we going to be friends for life. Why wouldn't we be? I didn't understand people growing apart, and I didn't understand people being in your life for a season. Like, I get that part, but we might link up later on, and we pick up right where we left off at. I didn't really understand, if I call you my friend, I'm not thinking I'm going to have to cut you off, yo. One, I'm not going to do nothing that would, you know what I'm saying? Like, that made no sense to me. Again, in my idealistic nature. Not understanding in real world application. Especially nowadays, you're probably going to have to do that a whole lot. Unless they're of like mind. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'll leave you on this note. Your friendships and associations of whatever degree, they should be forged in commonality. You have a common belief system. You have a common goal. And then you see this in application, not words, because the bamboozler will perceive who you are based on conversation and then morph themselves into that, thinking that's who you want to see. But that's not really them. They're just talking. But have you seen them apply or do any of the stuff they're talking about? And on that note, man, I'm going to sign off. Cover your six. Ooh,